I think Chelsea appreciated your very English use of the word crikey.
It was like Austin Powers. Crikey! Time I protest.
Well, we can sprinkle the session with lots more of those English quirky sayings, if you like. That'd be a jolly good show.
I know.
That'd be absolutely splendid. What ho! So, does anyone have anything that they'd like to feedback or share or reflect on since last session, which I think would have been Monday? Steve, is that right? Did you do a session Monday?
That's right. It was kneeling.
Anything on the kneeling session that you guys did on Monday?
This is DJ. I didn't work on my left at therapy, and I was successful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great, mate.
Oh, good.
Yeah, therapy has been helping me practice what we do.
Awesome.
I would also say your speech is improving somewhat as well, TJ.
Yeah.
Thank you. It'll get better once I free up my jaw.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a little locked.
Yeah. Your jaw isn't going to lock anytime soon, Chelsea, is it? No? Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Funny.
You were saying that with a hint of hopefulness.
You wish.
Does anyone like have any kind of helpful like advice or anything on helping TJ with his jaw? Like what kind of stuff would you recommend? Or TJ, do you know what you need to do to unlock your jaw or to help it? Or
we think we do, but we're not sure. Everyone tells us I'm one of one.
One of one. We tell them he's super rare. They don't know what to do with them.
Okay.
Well, yeah. The way forward, mate, is just drive neuroplasticity. So, for instance, if no one has given you an explanation for why you've improved recently, well, just like with me, and I would suggest with the majority of people here, whenever you improve, well, neuroplasticity is stimulated by experiencing new and expansive movement. You don't wait for neuroplasticity to then gain new movement skills. It's the other way around. And then when you stimulate neuroplasticity, well, that is the route to resolving and relearning any and all of your deficits. So I would suggest that's where the improvement has come from. And if they did say there's a different mechanism, well, fair enough. But the movement just won't fail to help. It's been the same with everyone.
TJ, that's awesome. Great stuff, mate. Really good.
Thanks to you guys.
Wow.
So down to yourself, mate. We can only assist.
TJ, I spoke to your wife about the pawns, how it helps with the electric stimulation on the tongue. Have you been doing that?
We are.
Yeah. It should help. It helped my jaw.
How does that work, Corey? What?
Trigeminal nerve controls the branches of the jaw muscle. And when you electrically stimulate the nerve, you can increase neuroplasticity. It's like a cheat code.
Right. Great.
But
Thanks for sharing that.
Because it clicked a lot.
We could get the same unit, but we got something very similar.
Yeah,
Mm.
it
I'd
should
also-
help.
I'd also
Well-
be interested in what a chiro or an osteopath may be able to help with your neck and your neck posture. Because certainly your neck and shoulders, first of all, are inseparable as functional units. They share more muscles than they have independently, and then obviously your shoulder function is one of the areas you're looking to improve. The nerves that feed into the shoulder exit at the neck, so once again your cervical integrity is going to be a factor there.
The shoulder is getting a little better.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the big things for improving your shoulder will be improving your thoracic rotation. But then the big thing for improving the thoracic rotation is cervical rotation. And, given the nature of the majority of us of where our surgery sites are, well, it just can't avoid compromise there. I mean, it's one of them that it's a whole host of manual therapies which will always help, even if it's just make you feel better on the day, but it would be nice if we all had, never-ending pockets. But that would be one I would suggest is a trip to an osteopath or a chiro with a specific intention of getting some work on the neck or seeing what their assessment of the disposition of your neck is. Anyway, over to Crispin. So actually, Crispin, what you did miss on Monday night, after I'd been speaking so eloquently in my German to Linda, she said I sounded like Hair Flick from Hello. would you credit that? Anyway, mate, over to you.
Awesome.
I would say this only once.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. So tonight's the squat pattern. So we're going to be covering lots of things that we looked at just over maybe a couple of weeks ago. We're going to start off with the baby roll. So let's see the happy baby. See if you can kind of get into that initial posture. You're looking to see if you can get your hands on the inside of your legs to reach your feet. But if you find reaching your feet really hard, then try and reach your ankles. If that's really hard, just reach your shins, and see what you can do there. So we're gonna get Steve's best angle here. So there you go. So we've got so you can see that his arms are going on the inside of his thighs and grabbing the outside of his feet. And then you're just going to see if you can roll from side to side in your most elegant way.
Continue on a theme that we were touching on there. You will all have been aware of how you can assist in a roll by looking in one direction or another. Now, looking is the act of, first of all, with the eyes and then with the head. And so obviously the neck is turning there. But you can also add further assistance on there by the direction in which you're going to, reaching with the tongue, because that will assist with the neck musculature as well. And I would be open to the idea that it could help in other neurological ways as well, particularly as Corey was noting there about how stimulation of the tongue can assist in other deficits.
So Steve, what you're suggesting is like using the movement or the direction of the tongue to help with that roll.
Yeah, you reach in that direction and push into that side of the roof of the mouth. Give it the not into the cheek, actually into the roof of the mouth, but push with the tongue, and it definitely helps. It's another adjunct in the same way that when you first turn eyes should go first, then the head should turn. But eyes and tongue can go at the same time.
Yeah. Hmm. Gary, that's really impressive, Gary. You're managing to reach your feet now, which I don't think I think you had struggled with that like a couple of weeks ago. Well done.
And something you can find and even get a little bit indulgent on in the happy baby squat. If you can do it as a log roll, i.e., so your head stays looking forward and the chin central to the chest, then great. If you have to turn the head to move, then that's sort of fine as well, but a different type. But also you can use your feet almost as pistons. So if you push out with the foot on the side you're rolling to and pull up on the foot of the side you're rolling away. So TJ, if you can pull up on that left foot, push out, but still keep hold on the right, which might not be your strongest hand, and turn the head at the same time, you can drive it like pistons. A quick demonstration, Crispin, if you want to throw me on. I can see if I can try and exaggerate this so that I'm moving to my right.
Help.
I'm just using my eyes and my feet as pistons here. I'm not turning my head at all.
Yeah, help.
So you do keep your feet together.
No. Yeah, well, there's like a static happy baby roll, or then you can get the pistons going, and you can start getting a lot of awareness within the roll and just indulging yourself in some options. That's it. Excellent, Timur. You can see yes. And see how you use those feet as pistons there, and it just rocks you over, and you're keeping the head central. And then you can maybe get the head going as well, and you'll find you'll just start rolling really fluently. And sometimes what I find is I can get in a happy baby and I can't roll without using my head or the hands. And then once I get myself into it and get a little warmed up, then I can get it so I can exhibit some really quite fine control without using the head.
Great work, guys. Take a break there. Really nicely done. Yeah, Gary, and you're getting some good rolling there once you're holding a little bit higher up. Really nice. Really nice.
And I don't know if you're able to get into the squat position itself at the moment, Gary, but certainly what you're able to do there demonstrates that your body can get into that position. Although that doesn't necessarily mean that it can neurologically descend there from standing. But we'll see, and we'll see what we can do from the crawl position.
All right. So, alrighty. So, let's see. So the next thing we're going to do is a straight leg raise, which of course allows us to utilize one of the most important movements in the body, which is a kind of a key for many movement patterns, which is the hip hinge. So now, when you do this, there are a couple of really important things. If I let's just look at what Steve's doing here. Okay, so the first thing you can do, whether you do this against the door or whether you're going to use a strap, the most important thing is that you have both knees completely straight. And then the second thing is that, like Steve's gone for like the 90-degree angle here. What's important is that if that is too big a stretch, whatever you can get your foot to, back off the stretch so that it feels very much more reasonable. So if you can keep the legs straight, both legs straight, and you can work at a level that you're not overly stretching the top leg, then that is a good thing. And also, just remember, guys, as well, that we're really after quality, not quantity. We don't want to just bash out thousands of these. We want to, yeah, we want to see if we can go for real quality, not quantity. As you can see from the screen, like there's a couple of things that we can do to make this a little bit easier. Steve's using like a half roll block there, so that the foot doesn't go all the way down to the floor, and you can work on that. Gary, that looks a great setup there. That looks really good, Gary. Nice, very nice. Work. Yeah, that's really nice. Well done, Kay. Good work. You see what I think what Kay is doing well there. Like you can see that you're keeping the two legs in line with the body, so that there's no hip abduction when you're bringing the leg up or down. So you're kind of keeping the limbs in line with your body.
You can see Kay's toes are or foot is pointing vertical throughout. What can happen if you haven't quite got the range of movement, then the leg can rotate to try to get that extra little bit of range. And so if you can't keep it straight, either when it's down on the floor or when it's up at the high point, then lower the leg. And I reiterate this every time, just because I know what human nature is on this one. If you are conservative with it and you practice the movement in a range where you don't feel any tightness in the leg that's supported, and your technical execution is fine, i.e. there's no external rotation, there's no the leg coming out and abducting at the hip. If everything's fine, you will progress really, really quickly. The moment you introduce a compromise, you will plateau. You will not progress. People forever think that they're going to get the most progress where it hurts the most or where they have to put the most effort in. Just ain't true. That's good, Timur. Really good, mate. Nice control on the lower. Make sure you integrate your breathing into this one, everyone. So you get that nice control lowering. That's great, Timur.
I'm just looking more left to go.
Do you want to try the strap? I don't know if you
So let's have a look. So guys, we can also just have like a little bit of a film night tonight. So I can show you a quick kind of, I don't know, 30-second clip of a straight leg raise. And the question I have is, when you see this, I want you to think about why are they doing what they're doing? Okay, so I'm sure you guys will know the answer to this, but we'll just see if so have a look at this. Yeah, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Hey, sorry, the computer said it timed out, so I thought there was something happened, but it went through. Okay, love you. What's that? Sure. Okay. Okay.
think on the share screen button, there's an option to include sound. I don't know if you want sound included, Crispin.
Yeah, I was going to go without the sound actually,
yeah.
just
No,
to
fair
see,
one. Yeah.
just to see if, yeah. So you can see, so just about there. So I don't know if everyone can see, yeah, what's going on there. So this guy Carl, he's pulling down on this band. So,
But
and then once he pulls up, yeah, the leg goes down. So, yeah, so why was, let's have a look. Yeah, so why was he doing that? What was the
Why was he pulling on the band?
why was he pulling on the band?
Counterbalance.
Bit of counterbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair idea. Not quite right, but
To bring his leg up.
sorry, Rob.
To bring his leg up.
Yeah, but by what mechanism? How would that possibly help him bring his leg up?
Because it would help. You're right there, Rob. It would help. But the question is, why would that help?
well, it would help you with the walking because you would push through the other foot.
Okay, yeah, so a little bit like the counterbalance thing that Corey's describing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so not exactly. So, Tom, what were you saying there?
Hip down and hip hinges, things like that.
Tom, your signal is not so good tonight. We can kind of make out a little bit of what you say, but not.
Okay, good. How's this?
Oh, that's
Much
good.
better.
Better?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
What was your
I
what
was
was your?
thinking it's helping to keep the hip down and not sort of arching the back while doing it, and I think isolating the hip hinge. It reminds me of a bridge because the bridge you're trying to keep you don't want the hip to be rotating upward. Something like that.
Yeah, kind of, but not quite. So
The reason why it helps in those ways is what is that?
What about this gate here?
As another example, when I think both Corey and Kay at least were using the band, why would the band assist you in ways other than just holding that foot in place? Holding the foot in place is helpful if you haven't got a wall or a door frame, but then what extra assistance does your overall system get through exerting the force through the arms?
Something with the core. Does this
Yes.
tighten the core preloaded?
yeah,
So
yeah,
don't
exactly right, Corey. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and
pull, it tightens it so you don't use the core.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well,
that's
you
right.
do use the core. It so it reinforces the core,
Yeah.
switches the core on. If what you'll probably find is that if somebody else comes in and lifts your leg, they'll be able to lift it through the full range, and there won't be a problem.
A lenter.
Yeah, I took the battery
It's
out.
only when you try to do it yourself
Done.
that you start then getting that bend in the knee. That bend in the knee is because the hamstring is firing to try to help out, stabilizing the hip, whereas the hip should be stabilized by your core. And so if you engage with the arms, let's say, for instance, I think both Corey, Jules is one there, you're next to a sofa. If you lay down and put your hands under the sofa so that you could, almost try to lift it or push up against it, that act of pushing up against it, you'll feel the core brace.
Yeah.
And so it's that bracing or loading of the core that will then assist in getting the leg up.
Yeah, it's like doing it with kettlebell over your head.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly that, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So if we ask Steve, if we get, for example, if we get Steve to do us a straight leg raise now, so and we look at this in slow motion. One of the really interesting things about movement is reflexive timing, so that when just before Steve lifts his leg, what's going to happen is that his core is going to activate to allow him to do this. So what's fascinating about this movement is that the straight leg raise isn't just about mobility. It's got a big mobility component. But as Steve lifts his leg, just before that happens, his core will engage, and it's a lot of it is his ability to control his core to allow him to make use of that mobility. And so when you saw Kyle pulling down on that band, it's a way of reflexively kind of engaging your core and allowing that proper kind of timing and sequencing to take place to allow that hip hinge to. And so Steve's got a kettlebell here. He's gonna.
So unassisted. Give you a. That's where I go. Like any higher than that, I would have to start compensating. However.
You see the difference? So now the core is engaged really effectively.
Noticeable difference there.
So I think it's yeah. So it's just, for me, it's just a really nice way of demonstrating how when we do a movement, there's a lot of other things that go on, particularly around stabilizing the body to allow that movement to happen well. And it's not about trying to consciously control that core, but it is about creating the right environment so that core will come in reflexively and automatically without us having to consciously. Like Steve's always telling us about how good movement should be automatic, and that's it's got to be we've got to get out of our own way, right? So for the straight leg raise, all of these little ideas, they can be really nice way you can kind of select your own. There's so many different ways of doing the straight leg raise, but as Steve said, as long as we get the accuracy right, and you can use like a little menu depending on what you think you need. You can use that to tailor that to your training really. But if we ask Tom, for example, Tom, are you able to do a squat for us? Just from where you are, would you feel happy to do that?
Sure.
You can see that
Right from where I am, or just.
If you're just able to have a stand up and then have a squat. So just having a stand up, and you can just see the hip hinge. Like as Tom just gently squats down. Yeah, you can see that hip hinge, and that's what we're trying to train in the straight leg raise. Tom, thank you. Thanks very much. So so that's where the straight leg raise is obviously a really good way of kind of training that hip hinge so that we can get a splendidly good squat later on. All right then. Okay, so let's work a little bit more on mobility, and let's work on kind of, I don't know, we can go from quadruped into like a kind of a child's pose kind of thing. So we'll go, here we go. So we've got so we've got, can get a good quadruped set up. You can try and tuck your toes under if you can, and you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to try and sit down on your heels. Okay, and you're going to breathe in, And as you breathe out, back on your heels. You're kind of working on that symmetrical mobility. You can have a play around with that. See how that feels. As usual, make sure that you have a splendidly good setup for your quadruped.
Did you say breathe in, down, and out, up?
Out on the way down.
Okay.
Breathe out in flexion. And if you want to relax your head and neck while you do that as well, you can. So as you drop the hips back towards your heels, just let your head relax, let your head drop, and then you'll be keeping your head in line with your spine, which is kind of what you do when you squat. So as you go back, Kay, just let your head drop. There you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. See. See how that feels.
And your hips actually go to the right.
Hey.
So what's good about what you guys are doing now is that is really good quality movement. Like it's really smooth, it's really controlled, it's really relaxed. That is top quality movement, guys.
I think most of you are doing it naturally. When you're up in the quadruped position, have your head up looking forward. When you go down into the squat position, sit back on your heels, you can have the head go in alignment with the spine. So that chin to your chest-ish.
Yeah, that's yeah. But when you're back in quadruped, Steve, you want to bring your head up.
Quadruped, head up, looking forward. So down when you go into the squat. You might notice that I go from toes tucked under in the quadruped.
Arms
I find I can get a deeper squat if I put the toes down.
Corey, if you want to have a go, see what it's like to have your feet up, your legs like a little bit more parallel, and see if that makes any difference for you.
Like this.
So still just as wide, but I think beforehand your feet were kind of closer together than your knees. So if you get if you bring your left knee in a little bit, and then it's still, there you go, and then just having your that's it, Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that because the angle from my hip.
Right.
Yeah, put it at the right angle so it gets as low as possible. If I keep them too straight, I can't lower down and it hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I turn it out a little.
I would also say as well, if you are using it to go down into the squat position, I would advocate getting the knees and feet positioned as if it was into a squat when you're standing, rather than with the knees underneath. Because as Corey's saying there, that will limit your range.
Yeah, sure.
Just to the floor, bow down.
Good. It looks like when you do it that way, Corey, you're getting a good, like a good, really good range of movement there.
This one.
It's really nice.
Gary, when you come up into the quadruped, mate, make sure that it's a good quadruped position. So you see how your knees are behind your hips. So that's it. Just that's it. Square away a good quadruped position, and then use that as your base. Excellent.
Alrighty, guys. Any questions or comments or reflections or? Alrighty, so Timur will now demonstrate the next move.
Right.
Okay, so this move, the next thing we're going to work on then is we're going to work on a little bit of hip extension, again like a hip hinge, but this time from full kneeling, which Timur's in now, into tall kneeling. Okay, so Timur, just if you could just give us a couple of demos of your finest full kneeling to tall kneeling.
Oh boy. Full kneeling to half kneel?
No.
Just a tall kneeling. So we're still working with a symmetrical base, which is what the squat is.
That's it. So basically a half squat. So you go from sitting on your ankles up into tall kneeling. Now, if you go back down, Timur, and then get yourself into a good squat position there. But also, what you want to look at doing, you want to keep pretty much straight spine throughout. You don't want to be leaning forward too much at any stage. You can you can be slightly leaning forward at the start, but you need to come back as you're coming up, so that when you arrive at the top, you're vertical. What you don't want is to be slightly leaning forward, come up, and still be leaning forward. You're going to tilt over. You want to make sure you get that into the tall position. And so when you do it, try to give yourself a high chest and shoulders back.
All right,
You want to think.
Give it a shot.
Yep. So just come up into kneeling and just think high chest, shoulders back. Looking forward, not down. Much better, much better. Go back down under control. Under control. Brilliant, mate. Didn't need the Indian clubs then, did you?
No, we pulled it out, Steve.
So that's the one. Just do that again and just think high, wide chest and shoulders back. Get tall. Come back under control. Excellent, mate.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow,
one.
that was great.
Yeah. You're saying you can't do it without the Indian clubs. That's that one put to bed, mate.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Now, Timur, is there anything else? Is there anything else that you know about your breathing which might help you in that regard?
I was trying to inhale going up.
Yep.
And exhale down.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if that's the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Spot on. And
All right.
yeah, brilliant. So one more time, Timur, if you can do that for us one more time. That's really, really coming on.
Yeah. Now that I'm a pro, yeah.
Absolutely.
So wide, high chest. The wide high chest, fist clench, and you just say, "Are you looking at me?" No one else here must be looking.
It's
Timo, that's excellent. Thank you. That's really good. Really nice. Anything else you want to add to that, Stephen? Anything else that we need to take into account when we're doing that at all? Or?
Well, maybe thinking getting tall, but I think they're the key ones that Timo nailed there. What is often the way is if you focus on what you want the body part, a specific body part to do, like for instance there, keep a straight spine, it doesn't work. That's not how we control the movement. So a reason to move is the best one. If you haven't got the reason to move, you want to try to give a goal that translates better. And that goal for Timo was to get a wide chest. Now, if you get, well, first of all, if you get a flex chest, you're coming forward and you're going to be toppling over like that. So if you say, get a big high chest, he's getting a big high chest, but it shoulders back, but in doing so, that straightens him up. So they're the cues you want to use. You don't want that internal cue of get a long straight spine. Just doesn't work. You know, give him an indirect goal of high wide chest, and then that will pull the back into the right position.
Great stuff. Yeah. So again, like all of this stuff, we're looking for quality, not quantity. So you can really take your time. And get that as smooth and as symmetrical as you can.
Very good.
That was great, Linda. Really nice. Chelsea, jolly good show. Seriously though, that's really good. Really good. Crikey, that was splendid. Oh, you're on mute, Chelsea. Brilliant. Okay.
All right, I'm not on mute now, but thank you very much. So Corey and Chelsea, anything that you guys want to say about that pattern at all? Anything that you want to add?
I've been working on just my shoulder personally with the kettlebell, doing this behind my back. And
Great drill.
There's also members. I haven't done this in a while, but the halo. It's not around your back, but you know, it's around your head. And you take it around your head.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, living your rehab's really important. I crawl a lot, and I have an up walker, a right walker, but I do crawl a lot. So I do the tall kneeling quite often. Like, all right, say I'm crawling and I have to go hit a light switch or something. Or I don't know. Something I forget. I have to get a ball down for packs.
That's a perfect example going up to touch the light switch, because you have you've got a goal and you want to try and get as tall as you can. So that's a perfect example of living your rehab and how it informs these functional skills and the primitive
Yeah.
skills.
Nice, thanks, Chels. And Corey, what's your thinking behind the having the kettlebell behind you? What are you working on now?
Two things. One, it keeps me stable, but also I'm working on personally my shoulder because I tend to hang it up.
Sure,
Muscle tone is a little affected, so it helps me train to relax it.
Because what happens when you do the dumbbell hangs is that you have to get alignment in your structure for your structure to be able to hold it. Now, what will happen initially in someone who either isn't competent or has got some compromised posture is because everything isn't aligned, the stabilizing muscles aren't the ones that can do the job. So the prime movers, they have to try and hold you in position. Now they'll get tired very quickly. Now, when they start getting tired and they can't do the job, your neurology will start looking for solutions. And the intuitive solution for it is to correct the posture and get the posture in place, because the posture doesn't tire. You know, it's muscles that tire. So when Corey puts that kettlebell behind him, he has to really get into extension at the hip. Because what he wants is that kettlebell just hanging straight down from his shoulders. Well, if he's hinged forwards, that's going to be working against him on a lever. So as you can see there, look how tall and straight that posture gets there. So that hip gets right up. And then it's gonna drive you to try to get symmetrical around the shoulders so that the scapula can just sit in their right position. And encourage you to get all of the scapulas, so that the scapula rotated into the right position. Which to do that, your thoracic mobility has to be sufficient. What I'll do actually is, while we're on this, Crispin can carry on. There are some great, and I mean really good videos on this from Grey Cook. I'll dig them out and I'll stick them in the chat, and or in the forum.
Yeah, cool.
Dark chocolate, 100%.
Yeah, Chelsea, I remember, I think one of the first rehab videos that I saw of you was with a kettlebell. You were doing like a full kneeling posture in the gym, and you had like a kettlebell in front of you, and just like how that helped you to, like I was watching that. This is before I really knew anything about this.
I'm trying to think of, I have so many videos, but yeah, I mean, are you saying you want a demonstration now?
No, I was just saying, like before I knew anything about this movement process, I was just thinking, what an interesting thing to do to kind of gain like lower center of gravity and more stability and so on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what I did. I mean, I did the dorsiflexion, but maybe Steve would have a better idea about, like, what kind of squat was it? Like, I've done dorsiflexion, but I'm in tall kneeling, and or if it happened.
It was just like, it was really just like if what Corey was doing there is like a back kind of like a back squat, you were just doing a front squat. It wasn't a squat, it was just like in tall kneeling. So it was just tall kneeling with holding a kettlebell in front.
Okay.
Yeah,
like around the world.
I think that's on my presentation video to the
It is, yeah. All right then, guys. So what we're going to do, last pattern of the session, what I thought we could do is to, for those of you that are comfortable and competent, to do some kind of squat. Yeah, just some kind of squat pattern, really. So it could be maybe, let's have a look. Maybe if we ask Chelsea to go first here. So Chelsea, you can choose whatever pattern you want to kind of go into but just make a squat a part of that pattern. What would you choose to do?
There's a lot of them. I think I could do the squat club, but I'll do the turkey to squat.
Yeah.
Get up to squat. Is that okay, Steve?
Yeah, awesome.
Chelsea's perfect time for Thanksgiving.
That then supercharges tall kneeling and gets you even further. So
No idea. Yeah,
it's a great way to go.
Arcade or duels.
Right, I've just put the links in the forum. I'll also stick it in the group chat now.
Okay. Cheers, Steve.
Bye.
You made Steve, it's like your fault.
But I missed the first bit, so you know what I mean. I wanted to
I'll try
put
to
you off, so you'd have to start again.
wait. Oh, you can't. Shit, you can't see. I know that messed up everything, but
No, that's looking good, Chelsea. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing really well.
Looks great. Woo!
Oh, nice. Okay.
Brilliant thing. Brilliant.
Nice.
Wow. Fancy.
That's hard.
Oh, great save.
Hey, Joe. Did your parents do that list?
that was with the breath. I would have bipped it. But the breath thing.
Yeah, I might just go at the.
Ooh,
Yes, that's really nice. That's really nice. Thank you.
I did it too.
I just wanted to drop Chelsea and like
No,
Steve.
I was like, I'm gonna fall.
Oh, okay. You have to head off, Kay?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
No,
okay.
okay.
Okay. Good to see you tonight.
It's
See
not
you
long trying to
today.
get out the spot, don't worry.
Oh,
All right.
oh.
Well, just send a bit of your squat.
See you
A
Saturday,
little bit
Kate.
of my spot.
Bob,
Rob, what squat pattern would you like to do? What do you think would be most helpful for you tonight?
no, that's my what I come to.
Nice.
Great, Rob. Excellent, mate.
Good job.
Really nice, Rob. Good control, mate. Good control. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really nice. Let's look. Tom, what would you what would you work on tonight, do you think, for today? What do you think? What squat pattern do you think would help you today?
Well, probably the squat flow, but I don't remember it quite, so I might try for something else.
You know it.
Is that the 1990 to 1990? That one? Is that it?
No, but
Oh,
It's
maybe I'll
you can start sat on your heels, and you get
Yeah.
your arms in a
Oh,
running
that's right.
pose. Yeah, that's it. Then you can sink back down onto the heel. Now you want that left heel, that's it, just in front. So you're going to dorsiflex as much as you can, get that weight, get that left knee over the foot, and then rotate and bring the right knee up, and you're going to face to the right. Well, sorry, face to the front. What is now your right? Yes, like that.
Wow.
And then you would turn to your right and bring that other knee down. That's it. And come back to the middle. And then you do a squat up and down. And then return to your start position. Well done, mate.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Corey, what do you think, what squat pattern will help you the most tonight?
The goblet squat with the kettlebell.
very nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Great.
Great work, Corey.
Keep getting up a notch.
Yeah, Corey, that's really nice. Could you say anything about because I remember Steve giving you this idea, but could you say anything about having the kettlebell upside down and how that helps you?
It gives me room to hold it close, but also the weight is on top of my thumbs.
Yeah, right.
But
So-
hold it like this, it's like you want to pull up. Here, just stationary. So you
Right.
lock it in and hold it.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, if the weight's hanging down off you, it's trying to hinge you forward.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're holding it up and you're underneath it, you should have your elbows are going to be bent, pushing upwards. Then you're holding it from your elbows. Whereas if you're holding it and it's hanging down and your arms are out, it's got that lever. Gravity's got that lever to work with, which makes the kettlebell heavier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also then not over your, over your base of support.
Brilliant.
It's all about using that kettlebell to alter your base of support so you can be balanced in that deep squat position.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. That's I can see how that works now. So Gary, we're moving through everyone. Gary, what kind of what do you think it would be the most helpful component of the squat pattern for you to try?
I mean, Sonatas.
Yeah. No.
Do you want to show us how you got on with the full kneeling to tall kneeling? Are you able to do that?
It's a great way to go. To give you an example.
Oh. Nice, nice, Gary, nice. Just really take your time. Really take your time.
Make sure you integrate your breathing, mate. That's great, Gary.
Yeah. Now, Gary, what I think you're doing a good example of is reverse patterning. So, which is where you kind of you start in the end position and then you work backwards. So, Gary, if you can use something in front of you or to the side of you for support, maybe that sofa to your left-hand side. Are you able to kind of get into a tall kneeling position, holding on to that sofa?
Yeah.
That's it. Libby, rehab, mate. Crawl over to it.
Good work, Gary. Good work. And just getting into that. So find your balance in that tall kneeling posture, so that you're as upright. Your body is as upright as you can be. So if you bring your knees maybe a little bit closer to the sofa, but not too close that you're holding up, but not too close that you're in contact with it. Perfect. Well done, Gary. And just get your balance. Just holding on to that sofa, just getting your balance. So you're kind of in that end position, and then see what you can do at just lowering yourself down into that full kneeling. So as much control as you can manage, and just lower yourself down. So you can hold on for a little bit of support, and just, yeah.
So notice, Gary, when you lower yourself down, your hips are going to be going backwards, but your chest is going to come forwards a little, because you need to keep that center of gravity coming straight down the middle. So you don't want everything to go back at once, because otherwise you'll fall backwards. Now, what I would also say is, rather than being right at the end of the sofa, you see that left arm is having to go up on the arm of the chair. If you can move more towards the middle, then putting your hands on the sofa isn't going to compromise your posture. And what I would also say as well is, yes, exactly like that. Keeping the hands in front of you there means that when you go down, you'll more automatically come forward at the hips. That was good. And you can have your knees a little bit wider. Will give you a wider base of support.
Gary, excellent work.
Gary.
Really excellent work. Yeah, nice one. Nice one.
You can actually see some clear improvement in your facial presentation as well, especially around the eyes, Gary. That's
really good to see.
As well.
And I think, TJ, you're doing the same. You're working on the same thing here. Is that right?
Maybe you want to be a little bit closer.
Go up, and I want you to go down with your hands in front of you. You gotta get your nose closer.
Right, so you see that's it. When he goes up now, he has to change his posture in order to get his hands down. So if you can move him a little bit closer, you get him closer to the sofa, you'll be able to stay in a tall position. with his hands balancing. So just try to crawl your leg. That's it. One
Well
there.
well done, TJ. That's it. That's good.
Now
That's really good.
Big breath in and get straight, but have your hands on the sofa, mate.
Oh, hands on the sofa.
No,
What happened?
just going down the core.
Yeah, so still have your hands on the sofa.
Hands the whole time.
Both hands, mate. That's it. And then with an in breath, go up and get straight, get close to the sofa. That's it.
Nice.
And then keep your hands on the sofa as you go down. The hands have to stay on the sofa. And a big controlled out breath all the way down. Keep the hands. So you lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. That's
Good.
it. Yeah. Now you
TJ,
see that? That's way better. Now you've
excellent.
got some awareness from that.
Yeah.
So let's see you go through it again. Keep the hands on there. Big breath in when you come up. Big breath in. Straight through the nose, having to breathe hard.
Good job.
Now feel your weight through your hands. And now remember the feel of when you were leaning forward, when your hips were going back. I want to see you repeat that. So breathe out. Force that out breath. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. That's it. Brilliant, mate.
TJ, that's excellent. That is really good. And that's the hip hinge, right? That's the hip hinge working really well.
I just think, TJ, about 2 weeks ago, you had to have a strap just to be up in the crawling position. There, you're going into a supported tall kneeling position without assistance. That's awesome, mate.
Yeah.
Very
Really
good.
nice. Really
Good.
nice.
Very good.
Great work. Great work.
It's quite a
Okay.
good example as well of how you can be quite challenged, but you actually demonstrated there that the tools are there to be able to produce the movements. You just have to be shown it in the right way. And so it's not that, you're just because you can't produce that movement intuitively, just means the building blocks haven't been put there correctly. And that's everything about the approach we try to take with starting at the Sphinx and then rolling, etc., is putting those building blocks in.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Jules, what squat pattern do you think would be most helpful for you tonight? What kind of component or what aspect of the squat do you think would be most helpful for you?
That one I find quite hard, so I should probably do that.
Yeah. Now remember, so that's other leg, mate, other leg. It's the arm.
Is that the wrong way around?
Yeah, because if you'd be tick-tocking if you were running there, wouldn't you?
I did another exercise the other day when I was getting it the wrong way around as well.
So if you just get in the start position now, so the way to think about it is once you're in the start position, the arm that's going to come back is the side where the leg's going to go forward.
Yeah. That's right.
Excellent, mate. Sink back down. Yeah. You got to dorsiflex forward. Get that knee over the foot. Usually with a big breath in. Yes, like the look of that, mate.
Look like a ninja.
Now reset your feet. Make sure you're happy with where the position of everything. If the foot needs to be in a different place, change it to there. Don't just accept where it is. Big breath in again. Yeah. Great work. Now try to squat up from there, because that's another thing that will validate your posture. And as you're trying to go up, take repeated sniffs in through that nose. So you're filling the core. So it's... Yes. Awesome, mate. Big breath in and then controlled breath out as you descend. That's quality, Jules. Then back to the start position. Rotate it round. Ah, mate, it's all right. That's. I was going to say it's the icing on the cake. That's actually the cherry on the icing on the cake.
That's really tight.
That was great, mate.
That
Jules,
was
really
really
well,
good.
really
Well,
well
you have a
done.
great squat.
If
Jay.
you
Very good.
just fire the camera onto me a sec, Crispin. What's good about this exercise and something which you can try to work on is that when you come out, your foot should sort of naturally fall in that position. Where it is for me is with the heel just about level with the end of the knee. What that then means is everything stays in the right position as I move through. As I come down here, sit back, that knee once again might not show as well as it can do because of the angle of the camera, but the relationship of that foot and that knee is still the same. And so then I can come around here and then it gets validated by the fact I can come up, come down. And then what I like to do there is bring that leg out, round, underneath. And then do the same on the other side.
Jeez, I'm gonna have to keep up with you guys. It's like
That was awesome, that Jules. That was really impressive, mate.
really good, really good. Here we go. So we have okay, and Linda, what squat pattern is going to help you tonight?
A block squat.
We have ways of making you squat. Excellent.
Ooh.
Well, what you can also practice here, Linda, is if you go down and give your weight to the stool or to the box. Give your weight to it, and then that means that you have to engage and disengage and engage again. If you just sort of brush it, that means that everything stays switched on. And a skill that you want to try to develop is to be able to relax at the bottom of the squat and then re-engage and come out of it. And so what would be perfect is if you could somehow magically keep reducing the height of that box. But that's a brilliant way to develop your squat. I take it from that, Linda, are you not able to just squat all the way down?
Down, yeah, but going up is.
Yeah, so that's exactly the thing I'm talking about then. So if you can find a way in which you can, keep lowering the height of your box. Big breath in though.
This is okay, but.
And so each time you try, take two sharp breaths in through the nose, but keep whatever you breathe in, and then try again and keep building up the air pressure in there. Sniff in. So when you came up, then you had the opportunity to sniff in. Now, if you came up, that would open the abdomen a bit, and you can fill it with some air and say, okay, that if you come back down, that's fine, but keep the air in that you just acquired on the way up, and then you try to come up again, and you won't have gone as deep because you would have inflated the abdomen, but you'll have at least, if not more, strength to push up a little higher, and then you can inflate the abdomen again.
I tried it out, but it doesn't work yet.
But
I can do the jigsaw thing, but that's not a.
Yeah, you can do it knowing that the first 4 attempts aren't going to get you all the way up, but each attempt will allow you to fill the abdomen that little bit more. And so your strategy is to try to stand up on the 4th attempt. And so you just know that on your first attempt, all you're doing is trying to get yourself high enough so you can sniff some extra air in, and then you want to keep what you've got in that abdomen, and then you try to come up again, knowing that you're not going to go all the way, but you're just going to go high enough to get some more air in. And once you've done that 2, 3, or 4 times, that will then have raised you from that full depth position and allow you to push out. But failing that, if that's not something which your neurology tends to understand, well, see if you can get a little bit of a lower box each time.
Okay.
As a prime example, if Crispin wants to come on, you can, if you use these. And so there you got that, and gonna squat down to that, then move that, squat down to that, and then squat down to that. Now that is probably lower than I would normally squat. There you go, I can touch that now. And the thing is, because if I tried to squat that low without anything there, my neurology would say, well, we haven't got a safety catch on this one, and it would cut in and stop me going into what it would think is the unknown. However, because I've got something underneath me, it's all it says, the cost of failure ain't prohibitive here. So I'm not going to put the safety catch on, so it allows you to explore everything that you've got available. So the box squats is a great example. It allowed me to gob off loads there.
Linda, great stuff, Linda. Well done.
Any questions about any of that, Linda?
No, I get it in my brain, but not in my body.
But the one, as I say, don't get it in your head that you're going to have a number of attempts to come up. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to fatigue yourself by trying to stand. You just want to make sure you put enough in so you can inflate the abdomen a little.
Yeah.
And then come down, and don't fatigue yourself. You don't have to brace and be clenching the fists. It's just that a little bit so that everything engages and you get a little bit of room to put some air in. You won't go quite as low. You'll be able to get more air in next time, and then you build up until you can get up. But sorry, mate, I'm hijacking your stuff again, Crispin.
Well, we have one more candidate, which is
Timur.
Timur.
Hey.
Timur, what squat pattern will you choose? Which is going to help you the most now?
Let's go with the TGU to the squat.
Hey, that's adventurous. I thought we were going to get a frog flow there.
That wasn't that's what I was thinking, but let's go for it.
Nice, mate.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I may have to use my arm.
Put your hand down, but get the head up and look. Don't look down. Have the head up.
Yeah.
Oh, close, mate.
Almost. think we'll leave it at that.
Excellent attempt, mate. That first part of the TGU, that's slick as you like, mate.
Nice, yeah, it's pretty good on that side.
Yeah.
But what you were saying about the thong kneeling,
Yeah.
to imagine something, not worry about keeping a straight back.
Yeah.
That was the key right there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Timur, are you still able to go, from from a crab into a squat into a...
Of course, yeah, sure. And back into quad
Yeah. Smooth as you like, Timur, smooth as you like. That's really nice.
That is magnificent, mate.
Timur, that is really good. Timur, that for me, that's like when you do that, it's like it's kind of like these kind of supported or floor-based patterns that we do. It's like you take that into like a vertical squat. It's like a really nice demonstration of taking like that posture or like that mobility that we've worked on earlier in the session, and then getting it into that vertical mode. So good to see. Steve, anything you want to finish with at all, or any comments? Great work today, guys. That was a really good sesh.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, some great moments in there with guys the penny dropping and acquiring a pattern which previously just wasn't in the program. Gary, TJ, Timur, all the examples of that, and then some great examples of movements as well. Jules, suppose I'll say Chelsea. Linda exhausted my repertoire of lower low quotes.
It's really nice.
Great session.
It's really good. Really good to see.
For Chelsea's benefit, you should say the session was jolly good.
It was jolly good. Crikey, it was a jolly good one.
The crows and spot the flies, Gavner. You wouldn't get a session like that on Baker Street, would you?
You guys don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I would say, what do you guys say in England for Thanksgiving? But you don't.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a host now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Then Steve Richards' host. You're back on host mode, Steve. Guys, we'll see you on Saturday. Really great work. Really great work, everyone. And good luck with your practice, and see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Cheers, Steve. Thank you. Nice.
Shut up.
That's one. See ya.
Corey, Chelsea.
Yeah.
You two want to stay on?
Yeah.
Yeah.